The music world stopped. Ozzy Osbourne, at the age of 76, breathed her last on July 22nd, 2025, after years of battling Parkinson's and serious health problems. The Prince of Darkness has finally rested, but before leaving, he left painful confessions. The last 4 years were a real hell, and every breath was a battle. John Michael Osbourne was born in 1948 in Aston, Birmingham, in a cramped and cold house, the son of exhausted workers. He grew up without emotional support. The school did not bring refuge. Dyslexia was mistaken for stupidity. Teachers ignored him, and classmates mocked. Bullying and domestic violence deeply marked her childhood, making silence her shield. At the age of 14, desperate, he tried to take his own life with a rope. Her father intervened violently, but Ozzy survived. The silence he carried became even heavier. At the age of 15, he dropped out of school and tried to survive in difficult jobs, always frustrated. At 17, real hunger and misery pushed him to crime and a brief imprisonment. In prison, a radio played "She Loves You" by the Beatles. Something awakened in him. He did not want to disappear. He wanted to be heard. The inner cry turned into music. At the age of 20, he met Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. Together, they formed Earth, which would become Black Sabbath. His music wasn't just sound, it was exorcism of pain. Black Sabbath released their debut album in 1970, followed by Paranoid. Fame exploded, but Ozzy could not find peace. The loss of Randy Rhoads in 1982 was devastating. He disappeared into alcohol and pain, almost giving up life and music. Sharon Arden, his wife, became his pillar, saving him from the abyss again and again. During the 80s and 90s, Ozzy faced addictions, depression, and nearly destroyed her marriage. Hospitalizations and rehabilitation helped him cope with the man he had become. In 1991, he returned triumphantly with No More Tears, proving that survival is a daily choice. Each song was a manifesto. I'm still here. In the 2000s, after a serious ATV accident, Ozzy suffered terrible injuries. And then came Parkinson's. Tremors, poor balance, chronic pain. Every day was a challenge. But even so, he released Ordinary Man in 2020 and continued creating, proving that his strength did not come from the stage, but from the determination to survive. On July 5th, 2025, Ozzy returned to Birmingham for a historic concert. With 40,000 fans in attendance and millions watching online, he sang, leaning on a cane, each note charged with memory, pain, and triumph. The show raised $190 million for important causes. Ozzy showed that true legends do not disappear. They live in the echo they leave. His children inherited not only his name, but his strength. Amy pursued a musical career. Kelly shone in the media, and Jack became a producer and family pillar. Each reflects fragments of Ozzy's legacy, showing that her story of pain and overcoming lives on, even after her death. In the last months of her life, Ozzy made shocking revelations. He said that he was not afraid of death, but of being forgotten. Each interview and each letter written to family members showed a raw sincerity. He wanted his story to serve as a warning and inspiration that no one would give up in the face of pain. Legendary figures such as Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Ozzy, even in moments of estrangement, paid emotional public tributes. Elton John, Bruce Dickinson, and several international artists mourned on social media, remembering the song that changed the world and Ozzy's fight against her demons. The whole world felt his departure. Monuments were illuminated with purple light. Fans lit candles in front of arenas and parks. Tribute shows took place in London, Los Angeles, and Tokyo. Each tribute reinforced that Ozzy was not just a musician. He was a symbol of endurance and survival. Before passing away, Ozzy left hundreds of manuscripts, diaries, and unpublished recordings. In his words, he wanted the audience to know the truth behind the stage, the pain, the mistakes, the fears, and redemption. Families and fans now have access to a legacy that blends art and humanity in unprecedented ways. Current bands acknowledge Ozzy as direct inspiration. Metallica, Slipknot, Iron Maiden, and many others declared that without Black Sabbath, rock and metal would be different. The sound of darkness he helped create lives on, reverberating in every heavy riff and intense lyric. Even though he was known for his dark style, Ozzy talked about spirituality and faith in small interviews. In recent days, he has said he believes life goes on beyond death. The message was clear: no matter the pain, one must find light, even amid the deepest darkness. In recent days, Ozzy has been surrounded by family members, smiles mixed with tears, memories of happy moments, and songs sung together. He said goodbye calmly, consciously, and lovingly, leaving a lesson in humanity. Even the strongest people need affection and presence. Ozzy Osbourne will not be forgotten. His name will be in the music history books, on the playlists of millions, and in the stories told by children and fans. Every song he wrote carries pain, passion, and resistance, and inspires generations to fight, create, and survive. On social networks, fans shared memories, old photos, and videos from concerts. Many confessed to having grown up listening to his songs, finding comfort in the most difficult moments. Hashtags like #RememberAZ and #PrinceOfDarkness have dominated platforms, showing that their influence goes far beyond music. Ozzy didn't just change rock. He redefined pop culture. Films, series, and documentaries about the life of Black Sabbath began to be produced, revealing not only the success, but also the internal struggles of the group. His impact crosses generations, proving that his work is timeless. Even after death, Ozzy conveys a powerful lesson. Face the challenges, don't hide from the pain, and cherish every moment with the one you love. His example shows that, despite difficulties, art and love can leave eternal marks. Ozzy Osbourne may be gone, but her light will continue to shine. After his death, fans and collectors began to exhibit rare items: guitars, concert costumes, and manuscripts of unpublished lyrics. Each piece tells behind-the-scenes stories, showing the human side behind the rock icon. Bands of different genres dedicated performances to Ozzy. From intimate shows to major festivals, artists have honored his trajectory, mixing classic covers and Moderna interpretations. His influence transcends generations and musical styles. Producers began projects to record his life. Exclusive interviews with family, bandmates, and close friends promise to reveal never-before-seen details, including personal challenges and moments of overcoming. The public got to know more about his battle with Parkinson's. Reports about treatments, daily adaptations, and the strength needed to continue on stage generated worldwide empathy and admiration. In a recent recording, Ozzy shared thoughts on life, legacy, and fan love. His words touched millions, showing a wisdom gained through decades of success and suffering. Other rock icons and international celebrities paid emotional tributes, highlighting not only Ozzy's talent, but also her generous and resilient personality. Ozzy's story has brought up discussions about mental and physical health of artists. Psychologists and fans reflected on the challenges of fame and the importance of emotional support for those facing serious illness. Charities began creating campaigns on his behalf, focusing on neurodegenerative diseases. Ozzy, even after death, inspired actions that saved lives and helped families in need. Social networks have become virtual memorials. Concert videos, fan photos, and emotional messages have turned the internet into a space to celebrate her life, keeping Ozzy's memory alive for new generations. Ozzy Osbourne's death reminds the world that even icons can be vulnerable. His trajectory teaches courage, passion, and the importance of valuing every moment. His legacy is not limited to music. He is an inspiration to all who face adversity. Throughout her career, Ozzy set records for sales, tickets, and awards. His classic albums still figure on rock's best of lists, showing that his talent is timeless. Thousands of fans traveled to pay respects at the venues that marked his career. Murals, messages, and flowers were left in front of the theaters and arenas where he performed, creating a collective ritual of longing. Ozzy has worked with big names in rock and other genres. Their collaborations yielded hits that became a reference, showing their versatility and ability to reinvent themselves. Clips and historical performances have again circulated on social networks. Each performance is analyzed and celebrated, highlighting his mastery of the stage and the contagious energy that only he could convey. In addition to music, Ozzy has influenced fashion, visual arts, and pop culture. Designers and artists have drawn inspiration from their unique style, becoming icons of creativity and personal expression. Ozzy's testimonials show her philosophical and reflective side. He talked about fears, hopes, and the importance of not getting lost in success, providing valuable teachings for anyone. Hundreds of radio and TV stations devoted special programs, and monuments in his memory began to be planned. Ozzy has become a symbol of international inspiration. Young musicians cited Ozzy as a reference. His musical legacy and his attitude in the face of adversity serve as a model, showing how perseverance and talent can transcend generations. Previously unreleased documents and recordings revealed that Ozzy was working on new projects. Nearby teams plan to complete some of them, ensuring that some of their work continues to impact the world. Ozzy's absence is keenly felt by fans and family. Photos, videos, and memories keep his essence, showing that although he is gone, his presence remains alive in music and in everyone's heart. In recent years, Ozzy's family has become her mainstay. Between hospitalizations and difficult treatments, they have been by his side, sharing moments of joy and pain. Close friends report that their home was filled with heartfelt conversations, laughter, and musical memories. Each visit brought comfort, reminding him that even in his frailty, he was loved and respected. Family dedication strengthened his determination to fight for health and at the same time preserve his creative sanity, ensuring that every gesture and word left marks of inspiration for everyone around. In recent months, Ozzy has spent hours reflecting on her life and career. Intimate conversations revealed regrets, learnings, and wishes he still wanted to fulfill. He talked about the weight of fame, the pressure of the music industry, and the importance of maintaining true friendships. His diaries, now revealed, show deep thoughts about mortality and the ephemerality of life. Each written phrase demonstrated his resilient and sensitive spirit, making it clear that even after decades on stage, he continued to learn from himself and understand the value of human relationships, creativity, and the unceasing search for meaning and inner peace. Even debilitated, Ozzy has made a point of taking the stage at some recent performances. Each show was a unique, emotional experience, with thrilled fans singing along. His voice, still powerful, carried the emotion of someone who lived intensely. Careful productions ensured that every note was captured, preserving his talent for future generations. The impact of these shows was profound, showing that their legacy is not limited to classic albums, but also live experiences. Music professionals say that few artists manage to convey so much feeling even in adverse physical conditions, making these moments unforgettable for everyone present. Ozzy's battle with Parkinson's and other health complications was intense. Painful treatments, physiotherapy sessions, and constant medications marked his daily life. Still, he showed admirable strength, meeting every challenge with determination. Close friends reveal that even in the most difficult moments, he kept his mood and hope, using music as therapy. This stance inspired fans and colleagues, showing that it is possible to fight with dignity. Her daily effort not only prolonged her life, but also reinforced her message of resilience, courage, and love for art, leaving a valuable lesson for everyone who follows her story. Artists from around the world paid tribute to Ozzy. Emotional messages, tribute videos, and special performances have emerged on social media and TV stations. Colleagues remembered their collaborations, moments of mutual support, and their generous character. Many recounted how he inspired them to seek authenticity and perseverance. These manifestations show that, in addition to fame, Ozzy has earned genuine respect and admiration. The impact is not restricted to the world of music. Writers, filmmakers, and other creators also recognize its influence. Each tribute reinforces the dimension of his cultural contribution, showing that his legacy will live on far beyond his physical absence. Ozzy left deep marks on pop culture. Fashion movies, commercials, and even video games have been influenced by her style and attitude. Designers cite their iconic clothing as a benchmark of authenticity and boldness. His way of performing on stage and the aesthetics of the clips helped shape visual patterns that remain current. In addition, Fans created artistic tributes, murals, and graffiti, expanding their influence into new forms of expression. This fusion between music and culture reflects his ability to connect people and ideas, becoming more than a musician, but a true cultural icon whose references and inspirations cross generations. After his passing, documentaries began detailing his life and career. Interviews from colleagues, family, and fans created a complete narrative, showing the impact of their choices and achievements. Unreleased recordings reveal moments of vulnerability and creativity, highlighting his human side. Behind-the-scenes stories demonstrate his dedication, discipline, and sense of humor, often unknown to the general public. Each production seeks to preserve the essence of Ozzy, ensuring that future generations understand its importance. These records consolidate his legacy, transforming memories into learning and inspiration, reinforcing his cultural and emotional presence even after his departure. Fans and influencers flooded social media with messages, photos, and videos. Hashtags in his honor went viral, becoming trending topics. Streaming platforms showcased special playlists, while artists released covers of their biggest hits. This digital mobilization highlights the global reach of its impact, connecting generations and cultures. In addition, creators shared personal stories of how Ozzy inspired them, creating a virtual community of remembrance and celebration. Social media functioned as a collective memorial, turning grief into creative expression and allowing millions of people to participate in the tribute immediately and interactively. In addition to music, Ozzy devoted efforts to social causes. Charities reported discreet donations and support for educational and cultural projects. Friends say he cared about creating opportunities for young musicians by offering mentoring and encouragement. His generosity did not seek public recognition, but the real transformation of people's lives. This lesser-known facet reveals a human and altruistic side, reinforcing that his legacy goes beyond the stage and the records. He also impacted lives directly, helping to build a better future for those who had fewer opportunities and showing that success can be used for good. The world says goodbye to Ozzy, but her influence is eternal. Music, memories, and inspiration remain alive, passed down through generations who grew up listening to his hits. Audio files, videos, and personal stories continue to circulate, maintaining their cultural and emotional presence. Fans gather at tribute concerts and celebrations, perpetuating his work and teachings. Ozzy's legacy is a powerful reminder of talent, perseverance, and humanity. Although the nostalgia is immense, his achievements, attitudes, and creativity ensure that he will never be forgotten, turning his life into a symbol of eternal inspiration for all. In recent years, Ozzy has become even closer to longtime friends. Between confidences and memories, he shared fears and hopes that few knew. These conversations revealed a reflective man, aware of his impact and life choices. Friends report laughter, tears, and moments of pure complicity. Even when weakened, his presence radiated energy, reminding him that music was only part of his essence. These deep relationships showed that in addition to fame, he valued true friendship. For Ozzy, every close person was a source of inspiration and support, strengthening her spirit and keeping her motivation alive. Ozzy devoted time to young musicians, imparting stage and life teachings. Mentoring sessions were intense, with advice on creativity, discipline, and authenticity. Many confess that these experiences have changed their careers and personal perspectives. He believed that sharing knowledge was as important as composing or recording hits. This altruistic stance has created a network of inspired artists, perpetuating his legacy in a roundabout way. Even without big stages or lights, his influence spread quietly, showing that the true impact of an artist is not measured only by success, but by the ability to inspire, motivate, and transform lives around him. In the last months of her life, Ozzy devoted herself to studio and residential recording. Working on music was her therapy and escape, even on the most difficult days. Unpublished archives reveal sound experiments, exciting melodies and lyrics loaded with personal meaning. Colleagues comment that each note conveyed courage, memories, and reflections on their trajectory. These records now gain historical importance, representing the last chapter of his work. For fans, they are more than songs. They are testimonies of resilience, passion, and authenticity. Each recording preserves not only talent, but the essence of a man who turned pain into art and inspiration. Even though he was weakened, Ozzy sent messages of hope to fans. Social networks and letters contained motivating words about perseverance, love, and creativity. He understood the influence he had and wanted to use his reach to encourage others to overcome difficulties. Personal stories shared on the digital platforms showed his sensitive and human side. These messages have become a balm for people facing challenges, reminding them that life, despite adversity, can be rich in meaning. The emotional impact of these words reinforces her role as a cultural and human icon, capable of touching hearts and inspiring positive attitudes even in the darkest moments. Few knew Ozzy's offstage habits. He enjoyed cooking, listening to jazz classics, and walking in parks, activities that calmed and inspired him. Friends report that even in moments of illness, he maintained small routines that brought joy and balance. Mental health care was constant, including meditation and deep breathings. These details reveal that behind the musical icon there was a simple man, aware of the importance of each moment. The daily routine has become a metaphor for endurance, showing that small actions can sustain the strength needed to face big challenges. Even on the most difficult days, Ozzy kept the mood. Inside jokes with the team and banter with friends showed his light spirit. This fun side helped ease tensions and bring people closer together, creating unforgettable memories. Health professionals comment that good mood positively influenced their recovery, providing physical and emotional well-being. For fans, this facet reveals that strength is not only in seriousness or talent, but in the ability to find joy even in the midst of pain. The legacy includes not only songs, but the inspiration to live with lightness, authenticity, and an infectious smile. After his death, posthumous awards and international recognitions celebrated his contribution to music. Critics highlight its impact on the evolution of rock and heavy metal, as well as its ability to reinvent itself over the decades. Museums and exhibitions began dedicating spaces to his work, including instruments, stage clothes, and manuscripts of unpublished songs. This appreciation reinforces that his influence transcends generations, consolidating him as a global icon. Ozzy's memory lives on, not just in our ears, but in world cultural history, showing that her trajectory will continue to inspire musicians, artists, and fans for decades to come. Videos of fans singing their songs and reminiscing about shows quickly went viral. Emotional testimonials showed how he changed lives, from teenagers who discovered music to established artists who admired him. Digital interaction has created a sense of global community, connecting fans from different countries around shared memories. Each post, hashtag, and tribute strengthens the memory of his presence, even after death. This digital phenomenon proves that the impact of a Moderna artist goes beyond music. It manifests itself in emotions, personal stories, and the ability to unite people from all over the world through feelings and collective memories. Personal archives reveal behind the scenes of his artistic life and creative choices. Diaries, letters, and rehearsal recordings show doubts, fears, and insights that shaped his music. Researchers and biographers now have access to a rich material for understanding the complexity of the artist. Revelations include songwriting inspirations, unknown collaborations, and innovative experimentation. These documents not only deepen the narrative about Ozzy, but humanize her trajectory, showing that behind the myth there was a man attentive, reflective, and determined to leave lasting marks. The study of this collection promises to keep his legacy alive for decades. Ozzy Osbourne says goodbye, physically, but her legacy is eternal. Music, memories, and attitudes continue to influence new artists and fans. Their work inspires innovation, perseverance, and authenticity. Each song, interview, and record contributes to a narrative that crosses generations. Music schools, scholars, and content creators study his trajectory, ensuring that his lessons are broadcast. Thus, their presence remains alive in the culture, in the hearts, and in the shared stories. Ozzy's impact goes far beyond awards and fame. He represents the essence of an artist who gave himself to passion and left the world richer and more human. Even in recent months, Ozzy's voice retained potency and emotion. Scholars highlight his unique technique, capable of conveying pain, joy, and reflection in a single sentence. Home rehearsals show that he still experimented with tones, rhythms, and harmonies, striving for perfection even in the face of physical limitations. Colleagues recall that each note carried deep intentions, reflecting life experiences and personal battles. This care for art evidenced discipline and love for the craft. For fans and musicians, it is a lesson in dedication. True mastery is not lost with age, but is strengthened with authenticity and delivery. Ozzy has always valued family moments. Meetings, dinners, and small celebrations were priority. Even during her illness, she sought to share laughter and memories with close relatives. Sons and nephews recall their stories of youth and career inspiring, teaching about resilience and passion. He wished everyone to understand that music was only a part of his essence, and that family love was the true foundation of his life. These intimate moments created eternal memories, reinforcing that despite global fame, Ozzy remained a man with deep roots, solid affective ties, and a generous and attentive heart. The latest interviews revealed deep reflections on his life and legacy. Ozzy talked about mistakes, achievements, and learnings, always with humility and sincerity. Journalists highlight his clarity when discussing complex topics such as fame, health, and changes in the music industry. Each statement felt like a conscious farewell, conveying messages of strength and inspiration. He encouraged young people to persevere and to value simple moments in life. These interviews now have historical value, documenting final thoughts of an artist who influenced generations. For the audience, they are an opportunity to connect with their essence and understand the philosophy of life that guided their choices and their music. Backstage, Ozzy spent hours composing and revising lyrics. Each song was the result of personal experiences and deep reflections. Colleagues reveal that he analyzed every word, every chord, seeking to convey genuine emotions. Some songs remained unreleased, waiting for the right moment to be shared. This care reveals a meticulous artist, committed to quality and emotional honesty. The dedication to songwriting also functioned as therapy, allowing him to process fears, joys, and memories creatively. For fans, these songs are more than entertainment. They are pieces of life, pure emotions, and legacies of a man passionate about his art. Ozzy kept collections of vinyls, old photos, and instruments that marked her trajectory. Each item had its own story, representing important phases of career and personal life. Friends recall that he liked to revisit these memories, finding inspiration in memories of youth and achievements. Collecting wasn't just a hobby. It was a way to preserve the essence of who he was, uniting past and present. For scholars and fans, these objects have become valuable testimonies, allowing them to better understand the man behind the legend, his influences, and his unique look at music and life. Ozzy supported social causes, mostly linked to music and health. He often participated in charitable projects, encouraging young people from underserved communities to explore talent and creativity. Close friends recall that he saw art as a way to transform lives, giving opportunity and hope to those who needed it most. Even weakened, he continued to be involved with social impact initiatives, showing that his influence went beyond the stage. Generosity was an intrinsic part of his personality, and his dedication to the cause inspired fans and colleagues. Ozzy's social legacy is a natural extension of her art, touching lives in a positive and lasting way. In the final days, Ozzy sought peace and serenity. He spent time listening to soothing music, reading, and reflecting on his own journey. Family members described moments of introspection, meditation, and quiet conversations where they expressed gratitude and love. Despite the pain, he conveyed calm, showing courage and acceptance in the face of death. These moments reveal the human dimension of an artist who, although immortalized in music, also faced fragility and deep emotions. The ability to find serenity in the face of the inevitable inspires those who follow its trajectory, teaching that facing the end with dignity and conscience is one of the greatest acts of courage one can practice. After his departure, Artists and institutions from around the world pay tribute. Concerts, exhibitions, and posts have celebrated his career and influence. International recognition shows that its impact transcended cultural and language barriers. Critics highlight how his music has connected different generations, while fans recall moments from concerts and albums that mark personal life. Digital tributes such as cover and remix videos keep his work alive, broadening its reach and relevance. This repercussion reinforces that Ozzy's legacy is not limited to the era in which she lived, but will extend to future generations as an artistic and human inspiration. Friends report that Ozzy was a mixture of strength and sensitivity. They admired his honesty, dedication to art, and generosity. Stories shared in interviews show moments of humor, advice, and emotional support. For them, every memory is a life lesson, teaching them about courage, friendship, and authenticity. The deep relationship with colleagues and family reveals that his greatness went beyond fame. It was in the ability to touch hearts and transform lives. Even though physically absent, his emotional influence remains present, reminding us that the true heritage of an artist is measured by the positive impact left on those who had the privilege of knowing him. In the end, Ozzy makes it clear that her music is her form of immortality. Each song, recording, and performance is a reflection of his soul and experiences. For fans, these works serve as consolation, remembrance, and inspiration. The reach of his art ensures that even after his death, he will continue to influence people around the world. Its trajectory shows that the power of music goes beyond entertainment. It is a tool of expression, memory, and human connection. Ozzy Osbourne says goodbye physically, but remains alive through every note, verse, and memory, eternalized in the hearts of those who heard him and loved his work.